Hi, I'm Max Chapman and I'm here in the Label Worx studio with Alex Powell, going through a few things that I'm doing at the moment. So the story behind Resonance Records is it was originally a platform for up and coming artists, because we were trying really hard to make music and release it on bigger labels, but we weren't finding the opportunity. So it was just for me and my friends really to just have something to release on, because we were finding it tough. But it turns out our music was just rubbish at the time. So the biggest challenge I faced when I started the label was probably just financially, really. It was quite expensive to run a record label, especially when it's not doing so well in the first few years. It got a decent name for itself, but obviously the sales weren't great. There's a lot of piracy going on. I started it up within about 6-7 months of actually making music, or releasing on labels myself. So, which went pretty smoothly, to be honest, when I think back. So, yeah, that's definitely the hardest part. I think the biggest achievement is probably just seeing it end up at places like ADE and these big festivals that you always dream of going to yourself, let alone having a label showcase there. As for records, I think it's my favourite WAF tune still. It's called Space Invaders, that come out on a VA on Resonance. That's definitely my favourite record of his and on the label, I would have thought. I'd hope to see it sort of be up there with, obviously not the biggest of the biggest, but I'm hoping it'll be up there with sort of your Materials, and it's never gonna. I don't think it's ever going to be a Hot Creations. Fingers crossed it might. I'm hoping that I'm going to keep working as hard as I can. I'm hoping it'll just be in tow with me, really, and just sort of stay where I am. Label Worx has helped me quite a lot, really, because I'm very unorganised for starters, and they are now managing the label for me. It's just a big weight off my shoulders having you guys working with me, getting me great features and stuff on Beatport and Tracksource and whatnot, and just doing a lot of stuff that I couldn't have done before for a really good price, you know what I mean? So been a great help. So yeah, I heard about Label Worx when I was with Alex, actually, playing in Blackpool. I'd never actually heard of it, but I don't know much about that side of things anyway. I've only ever focused on the DJ side of things. So I think it was about 2 years ago or so, and then Baseware, the distribution company that we was using before, who I just sort of jumped straight into bed with just because they said they could sort everything. I didn't really know what the ins and outs were, but to be honest, I'm glad they shut down now, because I was only getting a quarter of the money that I'm getting now working with you guys. So what do you do for me? I've got a list here. Let me have a quick look. I can't say it like that. It sounds I can't be like, yeah, you coordinate the creation of sales. So basically, what you guys do for me is you're uploading everything for me rather than me doing it to myself. For distribution, you are making sure that the records are scheduled for the right time to come out. You're liaising with the PR companies, the DJ promo, just really helping me basically. That's making me focus on looking for records that I can play out rather than doing these little bits and bobs for the label that take up a lot of time. So I got into production I went around my mate Ryan. He had a flatmate, and I've never been into house music as such at that time, but I've always been into I always have massive speakers in my car and all that kind of thing. And I heard these speakers pounding away up in this flat. So I thought, I'm just going to pop up and have a look. And I knocked on his door. It was my mate Dave, and he just had he basically just had a setup in his room. And I just couldn't believe that. He explained he was making music in his room, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he was making music, do you know what I mean? In a bedroom. So basically I just wrote down everything he had and went and bought it. Went home and I was going travelling about a month later, so instead he had an iMac, and instead of buying the iMac I bought a MacBook, and I left all the monitors and stuff at home and I went travelling, and I went around Southeast Asia and Australia just on YouTube, learning bits and bobs off there, just self-taught on YouTube. So that's how I've done it. I think it's very important to work with other people in the studio. I like to help people out, man, because I know how exciting it can be just to get into a studio and make some music with someone that's done it before, because I went through those stages and I know what it feels like. And not only that, you'd be very surprised about how much I learn from other people coming into my studio, even if they can't make music. You know what I mean? Where there's certain parts of the track where I would stop and say that's done. And, they want to add more, they want to do this, and the first winners were a couple of wicked guys called Late Replies, and we've just finished a track actually, the first one, which I really, really like. Wicked little like African sample in it. I'm loving like the tribally Latin sort of sound at the moment. We're gonna get going with the second part of the competition soon, so very soon. So yeah, look out for that as well. And when I started using returns, it was just another whole different ball game. The things that you can do with delays, compression and stuff like that. I mean, you can do a thing called parallel compression on a kick, where you can have quite a dry kick. You like the sound of it, but it hasn't got the punch. You can use some compression and an EQ on a return, and you can literally 5 times the bass you could put through it, and it doesn't even change the gain in the actual track, And when I learned that, I think that was the thing where I thought, that's the one. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Getting signed to Hot Creations was incredible, because when I first got into this industry, first started making music, first started finding out about little labels that I could release on, he was Jamie Jones and Hungry for the Power are like the only couple of words that you ever heard, you know what I mean, in that sort of time. And so Hot Creations has sort of embedded itself in me from day dot. And those things like that stick with you, do you know what I mean? When he said yes to something, I've sent him so many tunes, like I'd say it's probably near on 100, probably, it wouldn't surprise me. And when he actually said yes, I was just like, hey, you know what I mean? So, and the fact that it's only coming out in only a month is just madness. So we've got me and Second City have got a EP together, 3-tracker on Relief coming out in October. We have got a couple of other things in the pipeline, but they're not 100% signed off yet. So the best gig I've ever done, I think, has got to be, it's a shame I was sober really and so nervous, but I think it's got to be Parklife, Manchester. It was unbelievable. It must have been, I must have been able to see at least 10,000 people when I was playing, so yeah, that was absolutely unreal. I'd like to play it for Music On, but I am playing the Amnesia Terrace on the 26th of August for El Row, so that is definitely a dream come true. And then close behind, it's got to be DC10 Terrace, isn't it? Well, I'm Max Chapman, thank you so much for having me at Label Worx, and I'll catch you again soon.